Well, the day has come and we're ready to leave on our big overlanding trip. And pretty soon the miles just start melting away, and before you know it, we're entering Florida. After spending our first night at the Porter Lake campground, we move on out into the forest today in hopes that the site that I picked out will be a really nice one. And we were so lucky. The site I picked out was just absolutely perfect. And it didn't take too long after we got set up and nighttime was upon us. Morning has arrived and it's time to start go exploring the forest. We're using Gaia GPS to help us navigate our way around. It has turned out to be a very useful app. I like that we can download stuff to it and it works offline when we're out here trying to find our way around. We did have one little glitch with it, but mostly it was good. And it was a little bit of swamp here and a little bit more swamp there. A lot of water out here, a lot of standing water. They'd had a pretty sizable rain before we arrived, and it was pretty wet in places. And we're always concerned when we're going into something like this, the depth of it. So we're making sure that we're not getting into anything too terrible here. Just trying to keep things as we go. I could feel we were driving on gravel base underneath, so I wasn't ever really too terribly worried. But whenever you're in a new place doing something new, you can't be too careful.
At this point in time, I'm kind of wishing we had a snorkel kit. There's the Florida hiking trail. Okay, so we come across this walking our trail. So we're doing a little bit of trail clearing. Got a tree saver wrapped around it, and we're about to the gnats are awful out here. Just absolutely horrendous. I don't know.
Yeah, it bottomed out right there.
You're over rock rails.
Now, if we want to be real podcasters, we need to figure out what to say when we're driving and bumping along and getting bounced around on the rough roads and out here doing our stuff in the wilderness. Well, here we are back out on a more civilized road, and it just really struck me how big the forest was and how long it takes to get from point A to point B. It's just a lot of driving and a long way to get where you're going. And here we are using Gaia at night to find our way back to our campsite. That was certainly very handy and would have been quite difficult to find our way around in the forest with paper maps. Could have been done, but you'd have to be really paying attention to what you were doing.
Google Maps actually told us to go this way. I think they need to send their mapping car out here to take pictures of all this. Okay, so we're out camping in the middle of nowhere in this mess. And I'm like, let's order a pizza for supper tonight and have it delivered to our campsite.
Here we are on our way out to St. George Island. The first thing we do is visit the lighthouse. This is actually a recreation of the original lighthouse. I can't believe the original attendants had to haul 5-gallon buckets of kerosene up to the top of this thing, 92 steps, and then crawl up through this little bitty manhole with 5-gallon buckets of kerosene to keep it lit and burning. Now we're headed out to the beach. It's really interesting seeing all these houses on stilts to protect themselves from flooding against the hurricanes. Even though the house may be protected from the flooding, I'd hate to be in one of those houses when the hurricane got rolling around. As our beach attire here suggests, it was not actually a very warm day, but it was a beautiful day and we had a nice walk and got to see quite a few birds and really enjoyed ourselves. We made it back from the beach and finished supper just in time for me to catch these gorgeous sunset shots. They really turned out nice.
Especially on the islands coming up. The leaves are a little smaller than the Huron has a little bit thicker. Very, very clear. Of course, we had rain last night.
See if I can keep from falling in the river here.
I see a bird. Yeah, that's a bird.
There's a bird nest up in that hole in that tree. Oh.
Turtle. So bad.
Ah.
That's in their region. And they did. They're real kids in the painted turtles and the little turtles that are sold in the
There's our baby alligator sitting right there next to the bank.
real popular here. But I know. Oh yeah.
There I come.
I got.
See? Told you I got you. Another baby alligator.
I drifted over from the burn. This was a.
So I just got the information that if I fall in the river,
If you tip your kayak and fall in the river, you're running behind the Jeep until you dry off.
we made it back from kayaking in enough time for me to get a little bit more imagery with my drone. You can see that this area has been part of a prescribed burn about a month before we got there. The other thing that I was able to figure out later in the evening was how to get a nighttime photograph with our camera, and the skies were just amazing. And now it's time for us to head home. We had a really great time, and thanks everybody for watching this video.